Hello students. Okay, let's read this question. Which of the following expression is equivalent to parentheses 20 plus 16 divided by 6? And we're going to use the cube strategy. We're going to highlight important information, and this is which expression is equivalent. One expression is given. And the next thing that we have to do, we did circle or underline because we highlighted. Box the question, and it is exactly the same information. Which expression is equivalent and one expression is given. My next step will be elaborate. We have to find a plan so we can find our answer. So on the step of elaborate, I'm going to be using my anchor chart for order of operations, and also I transfer my expression over here so we can work it out. This is a given expression. I'm going to write given. And I'm gonna do order of operations for this expression. The first step will be parentheses, and we do have parentheses, so we're gonna focus on this operation. And the operation is always in between two numbers. That's how we can tell when we have an operation. Can you help me to add 20 plus 16? 36. Everything else, just bring it down. Awesome. And then, well, we only have one operation. The division is in between these two numbers, so we're going to focus on these two numbers. 36 divided by 6, this symbol here is a long division. The number that comes first in the math sentence goes inside, and this is our divisor, goes outside. So what this sentence means is 6 times what is 36, and the answer is 6. Great. So what we have to do is, based on the question, we have to find another expression that also gives me 6. Great. So we're going to do each of the choices one at a time. So I'm going to get started with choice A. And the expression given is 36 divided by 2. Then a multiplication dot, and then we have 3. And we're going to use the strategy of following order of operations. And I'm going to get started by looking at parentheses. But we don't have parentheses, so we're good here. Exponents, we don't have any. Multiplication and division, or division and multiplication, whichever comes first from left to right. In this case, from left to right, I see a division. And the two numbers in between are 36 and the 2. That means we have to work this out. So on the side, I'm going to do it on the top here, and I'm going to put it in the same color. This is 36 divided by 2. And I'm going to work it out. 2 times what is close to 3? 2 times 1. So that's going to be 3 minus 2, that's 1. Bring down the 6. And 2 times what is 16? 2 times 8. And that's going to be 16 minus 16, 0. Great. So 36 divided by 2, that's going to be 18. And everything else, we just bring it down. Do I still have multiplications or divisions? Yes, I have 18 and 3. These two. I'm going to work out the multiplication on the side. And this is 18 times 3. Can you please help me to multiply? 3 times 8, 24. 4 and we carry 2. 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, that's a 5. This is 54. And 54 is not the same as 36. You see? These two are different. This is a 54. So we cannot take this one here. Now let's do letter B. I'm going to change the color. For this one, we're going to use pink. And let me transfer the expression on letter B. In this section, I copy the expression that is on choice B. And also I need to make sure I follow order of operations, like the anchor chart that we have here on the right side. Okay, so we know that we have to do parentheses first. We're going to focus on parentheses. And inside these parentheses, I have more than one operation. But just like order of operations says, we have to go from left to right. So I'm going to focus on this one first. And 4 times 5, 20. Excellent. Everything else, just bring it down. So I'm just going to bring down everything else. I bring down the A, the times, the 2, the division symbol, the 3. This is a multiplication dot, and the 2. Okay, from left to right, I'm still inside the parentheses. I have an addition for 20 and 8, and I have a multiplication for 8 and 2. Which one comes first, the addition or the multiplication? And the answer is the multiplication. So we're going to focus on this number. And 8 times 2, that gives me 16. Everything else, we just bring it down. So I'm going to do 20 plus 16 plus the parentheses. Division, bring it down. And then everything else, just bring it down. From left to right, do I still have parentheses? Yes, I still have these parentheses from left to right. So I need to focus on that one. So this is going to be 20 plus 16. And that gives me 36. Everything else, just bring it down. Parentheses, 3 times 2. Is there any parentheses from left to right? Yes. This one, remember, we are still working on this first step. So I can only focus on one step at a time. And 3 times 2, that's going to give me a 6. And everything else, we just bring it down. 36 divided by 6. And this is what we have on the expression that's given. So now I only have 2 numbers in between one operation symbol. And 36 divided by 6 is 6, because 6 times 6 gives me 36. Okay, so we found another number, and then looks like this is going to be our answer. Do we have to work out the other choices? We have to. We need to check if we didn't have any mistake, and that's what we're going to do. For letter C, I'm going to do it in orange. So this is going to be our letter C. And I remember I'm going to be using order of operations, because we're trying to work out one expression that has more than one operation. So for letter C, I'm going to transfer the expression given. Okay, so let's do letter C. And we do follow order of operations. We start with parentheses. And inside these parentheses, there's 1 plus operation. So that's what we're going to focus on. And 5 plus 4, that gives me 9. Now we know that a number in front of a parenthesis really means multiplication. So I'm going to bring this multiplication dot down. And I don't put the parentheses anymore because we already worked it out. And like we said, everything else we always bring it down. So bring down the 4, multiplication dot, the division, the 2, the times, and the 3. In this case, I'm going to use blue to display the number, the step that we're working on. So we did parentheses. Are there more parentheses from left to right? No. The next step will be exponents. Are there any exponents from left to right? No. Okay, so now let's focus on multiplication and division. And notice that is division and multiplication, or multiplication and division. It doesn't matter, whichever comes first from left to right. And from left to right, do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, so this one right here is the first one from left to right. Okay, so let's work it out. What is 4 times 9? 36, great. And everything else, we just bring it down. Bring down the division symbol, bring down the 2, and the multiplication dot, and the 3. Our next step, from left to right, let's look for division or multiplication. And from left to right, we saw the division first. So the division symbol is in between these 2 numbers. And I have to do 36 divided by 2. And we did it on example A. Remember, right here, we have that on the left side. So I'm going to record that value. 36 divided by 2 is 18. And everything else, we just bring it down. Bring down the multiplication dot and bring down the 3. And now we just have one multiplication. And we actually have the same multiplication on the left side, right here, 18 times 3. So we ended up with the same answer as letter A. You see that, guys? 18 times 3. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. 18 times 3, that's a 54. And I'm just going to highlight my number. And 54 is not the same as the expression given on the top. Great. So now we're going to do just the last one. And the last one is going to be letter D. So I'm going to transfer the expression given on choice D. Okay, so now for letter D, I'm going to use the anchor chart that I have on the top. Okay, parentheses, we're good. There's no parentheses. Exponents, we don't have exponents. Those little small numbers on top of the base numbers. Okay, division and multiplication, or multiplication and division, whichever comes first from left to right. And from left to right, we do have one multiplication. So the two numbers on the sides of that symbol are the ones that we have to work out. So 4 times 9, that gives me 36. And everything else, guys, we just bring it down. Great. Bring down the 3, bring down the multiplication dot, and bring down the 2. Okay, so from left to right, I look for which other either multiplication or division we have. And we found that we have 36 divided by 3. And we haven't done that division, so we're going to do it. This division symbol is the same as having a long division here. Now I'm going to transfer the numbers. The first number from left to right goes in the dividend. Then the next one is the divisor goes outside. And now we can divide. 3 into 3, that is going to be 1 time. Great. 3 times 1, that is 3. 3 minus 3, that's a 0. Bring down that, 6. 3 into 6, that's going to be 2 times. So 36, 3 times 2, that's 6. Now we have no remainder. So 36 divided by 3 is going to be a 12. And everything else, we bring it down. Now we have to do 12 times 2. If you have a multiplication chart, you can look for the product for those two factors. 12 times 2 is going to be 24. Yes, awesome. So we're just going to focus on those two numbers, and that's going to be 824. And this answer here is not the same as the one that we have here. So then really, only this 6 and this 6 are the same. And so our answer is letter V. Awesome, guys.